Whether hot or cold, tea is the most popular beverage in the world. It is estimated that about 6 billion cups of tea are consumed each day in the world. That's nearly 1 cup of tea for every person on Earth every single day. Only water is consumed more by people. I'm Jake the Voice Par, and these are 10 of the most interesting facts about the wonderful beverage called tea. And number 10 is the origin of tea. In the age stakes, tea predates coffee by about 3,000 years. Tea historians believe that tea was first harvested around 2700 BC in the Yunnan region of China, where it was drunk for medical purposes. The earliest written records of tea are also from China. It would become a popular recreational drink during the Chinese Tang dynasty in the 7th century AD and was introduced to the West in the 16th century by Portuguese priests and traders. Tea sure is one old and revered little drink. Number 9 on our list brings us to the different types of tea. There are 5 principal varieties of tea: black, green, white, dark, and oolong. They all come from the exact same plant, namely an evergreen that grows in warm, moist weather called Camellia sinensis. What distinguishes the 5 types of tea are the various degrees of processing and the level of oxidization that each type goes through. Tea leaves undergo natural chemical reactions, which results in the taste and color changes that then develop into distinct teas. The majority of tea that is drunk in the US is of the black and green varieties. Iced tea, as we know it today, is definitely an American invention and comes in at number 8. Legend has it that it was first invented by an enterprising tea merchant on a sweltering hot day at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, Missouri. However, records show that iced tea was actually in vogue in the southern US states in the late 1800s. Today, about 80% of the tea consumed in the US is iced, which has no doubt been boosted by the huge growth in canned iced tea drinks. In fact, Americans chugged through 1.7 billion gallons of iced tea in cans in 2006 alone. At number 7, we have what is known as high tea. High tea is often a combination of tea with the most scrumptious cakes, patisseries, and sandwiches, and is usually reserved in the finest hotels. Ironically, high tea actually originated among the British rural and working classes who would have tea with meats, salads, and desserts at the end of a hard day's labor. It was called high tea because it was served on a high dining table. Swanky and expensive though high teas can be today, its roots were decidedly working class. Number 6 is a conundrum regarding the amount of coffee harvested in the world versus the amount of tea harvested. If you thought you'd heard that a lot more coffee than tea is harvested, then you would be quite correct. About 8.5 million metric tons of coffee is harvested each year versus 4.7 million metric tons of tea. However, it takes 5 times more coffee beans to make a cup of coffee than it does tea leaves to make a cup of tea. Therefore, there are 3 cups of tea drunk for every 1 cup of coffee. Tea is still tops. The Sherpas are an ethnic tribe who live high in the Himalayas mountain region of Nepal. They are famous for their mountain climbing skills and immense bravery. They are also famous for Sherpa Tea, also known as Sherpa butter tea, or Susha in Sherpa. For nourishment and to keep warm in the bitterly cold weather, the tea is made by brewing oolong and Darjeeling tea leaves, yak butter, salt and milk, as well as sampa, which is made from barley flour. With ingredients like that, no wonder the Sherpa are so hardy and so fit. Number 4 is all about herbal teas, which are certainly popular and come in endless varieties. Unfortunately, their name is very misleading, as they are not actually teas. A tea is not a tea if it doesn't contain any leaves from the Camellia sinensis plant. Herbal teas are in fact infusions from the roots, flowers, leaves, and seeds of different plants. There are proper teas that are infused with other flavors, such as chrysanthemum tea, which is popular in Korea and China, as well as Earl Grey tea, which is infused with bergamot oil. These still remain tea to a T. Number 3 on our list has to do with etiquette, which says that tea is to be sipped as discreetly and quietly as possible. Gulping it down is a definite no-no. However, it's been argued that slurping your tea is the best way to really taste it. Sometimes slurping allows aeration of the tea, thereby releasing its flavors and creating better fusion with your taste buds. Who knows if there's any truth to it, but it is true that some professional tea tasters slurp their tea to get a fuller taste out of it. Yes, but how does one slurp tea without sounding disgusting? Number 2 on our list has to do with bags. Well, tea bags. Today, tea bags are one of the most popular ways for people to make a quick, enjoyable cup of tea. However, their invention is more recent than you might think, and they were not even invented by design. Thomas Sullivan was an American tea merchant who, in 1908, provided his customers with samples of tea in small bags made of silk. Some customers thought the bags were to be put directly into hot water. And just like that, the tea bag was born. Quite by accident. We left our number 1 interesting fact about tea to be all about the money. It's rather fitting that the world's most expensive tea should come from the home of tea, China. The tea is a rare Chinese variety called Tiaguanan. It's named after the Buddhist iron goddess of mercy and is an oolong that can cost up to $1,500 a pound. It's so expensive because the variety is so rare, and it's said to be fertilized by panda droppings. It's also supposed to taste heavenly, which is just as well at that type of price. Those then are 10 of the most interesting facts about tea. For more top lists just like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out our other top lists. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks for learning.